Thank you, Margie. Unrest overseas. Brian Herstig has an extensive background working in the nonprofit sector. He currently serves as the president and CEO of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. He joins us to discuss the ongoing struggles between Israel and the Gaza Strip and how we can help those in our community who may be struggling with this because it's impacting a lot of people. Brian, good morning to you.
Thanks for having me.
Serious topic here, but we got to address it because it's affecting a lot of people across the world. What exactly is going on right now between Israel and the Gaza Strip?
Well, what's going on is over 1,000-year conflict that really reached a crisis point on October 7th when 3,000 militants of Hamas, an Iranian-backed terrorist group, broke across the border, murdered, pillaged, raped, killed, and took now about 250 hostages back into Gaza with them.
Describe Israel's role in the region and globally as a U.S. ally.
Yeah, so, when we fought ISIS, when we fought Al-Qaeda, Israel, which is the only ongoing democracy in the Middle East, was and has been our partner for the 75 years that they've been around. They're the strongest partner we have there. We rely on their intelligence and their military might to help make sure that American interests are safe, because make no mistake, they're coming for Jews right now. They hate the Americans just as much.
Awful. This whole thing is just awful. What's the current status of those injured, killed, and held hostage right now?
So there are about 250 hostages. Okay. 29 are Americans. They come from 33 different nationalities, and 30 of those are children. We have no idea what's going on with them.
Man, that just makes you really think what's going on, and how can they stop this? It's like the Middle East conflict is ages old. Can you describe some of the background for us?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the most traveled piece of land in history. It's the most sought after piece of land. It links up Asia, Europe, and Africa, so it's a crossroads. Add to that it's the home to the world's great three religions in some form or another, and it becomes a crisis point. Yeah.
This didn't just happen overnight. This has been happening for decades.
It has been. Look, Israel has tried to extend an offer of peace to people in both West Bank and Gaza 15 times. Every single time it's been met with more attacks. So part of this is remembering that we're not fighting with the people in Gaza. We're fighting against a terrorist organization that is using the population that they control as shields in order to protect their own power. We want to do what everyone wants to do, and that is get the occupiers out. And Gaza has been running and managing Hamas has been managing and running the Gaza Strip for 16 years. They're the occupiers who are subjugating a people.
And you said Israel has offered 15 different times
ceasefires, peace. Every time it's been rejected, you'll hear the chants in the street, Free Palestine. Free Palestine is part of a broader phrase that includes getting all the Jews out from the sea to the river, and that's extermination that they're talking about. That's not what Israel's trying to do. Israel's trying to get back the captives that have been taken.
What kind of connection does St. Louis have to Israel?
We have a bunch. Yeah. First of all, we have about 400 Israeli families who live here. We've got a lot of families who've moved to Israel, whose kids are now being called up to serve in the army. But we've had a 35-year relationship with an area in Israel, a partnership region that's being impacted. And every year we bring over 3 to 5 different youth from Israel who take a year off of their army service to come represent the culture and the food and everything of Israel, who live here. Those 4 individuals, 19 years old, are living here now while they watch their family and their friends all in harm's way.
What can we do to help? And what can we do to describe the Jewish Federation of St. Louis?
Yeah. Look, the most important thing I think that you can do right now is if you know someone who's Jewish, check on them, make sure they're okay. None of us are okay. This is impacting us every single day. Anti-Semitism in the United States was up by almost 400% before this war started. The second thing that you can do is find good information, real information. Hamas is a terrorist-based organization. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Most important thing we can do immediately is 2 things. Number 1, if you can, donate through our website at jfedstl.org. 100% of the dollars go directly to the people on the ground. We've also started a national campaign, a blue ribbon campaign, to bring focus to the captives and to get them returned safely.
That blue ribbon campaign, we're going to have this interview posted on our website with more details and information, how people can help out. Thank you for sharing that knowledge, because there's a lot of disinformation going on around there right now. And if you have a Jewish friend or somebody who is Hebrew, then it's okay to say, are you okay?
Absolutely.
Brian, thank you for being here this morning, taking your time. We'll be back with more Fox News in the morning after the break.